This past Friday was a Friday the 13th. We all know that is a day when we pretend not to see black cats crossing our path, and we make a wide berth around standing upright ladders, all in the name of keeping our good luck intact. However, this past Friday was also World Kindness Day. It was started in 1997 when a coalition of humanitarian groups came together at a conference in Tokyo and collaboratively wrote a declaration of support for a kinder world. This document stated in part that the signers were committed to, quote, creating kinder and more peaceful societies for our children to inherit, and encouraging all of humanity, from classrooms to staff rooms, and from boardrooms to those residing in the corridors of government, to seek the kinder option in all matters. Since then, this declaration and the subsequent birth of the World Kindness Movement has spawned initiatives globally. In Canada, Nigeria, Australia, the US, the United Arab Emirates, Singapore, India, Italy, and the UK, just to name a few. The purpose of World Kindness Day is to highlight good deeds in the community, focusing on the positive power and the common thread of kindness which binds us. Right now, it is an unofficial day, but the World Kindness Movement hopes that it will achieve official recognition from the United Nations. World Kindness Day certainly isn't up there with Thanksgiving and Christmas or even the 4th of July. However, I think it is well worth recognizing, particularly this year when so much, between COVID and the US election, so much has caused us to turn inward and become overly conscious of ourselves and our own needs. Kindness is a real antidote for all the negativity associated with our feeling overwhelmed by the continual turmoil in Washington, our fear of exponentially rising COVID infection rates, and just kind of being stressed, beaten down, and even broken inside in general. I love the poem, particularly the ending that United Church of Christ pastor Miran Tirabassi wrote about World Kindness Day. My choice at dawn, and not the circumstances of the day, the sad or sweet details, the weather, the way the pandemic makes me lonely or frightened, the news feed of sorrows, grumpiness of someone who loves me, amazing and unexpected joy. My choice at dawn offers me how I will live this day, superstitious of Friday the 13th or as World Kindness Day. I don't often pick arguments with famous prophets, but I think Micah was young when he proclaimed his famous words. Doing justice is a requirement we pick up every time it is needed, whether it is convenient or not. Walking humbly with God is a daily stumble, but loving kindness, living kindness is our choice every morning. Loving kindness, living kindness is our choice every morning. Reflect on how, if you took those final lines to heart, it might change your life, or at least how such a conscious choice might rearrange your priorities. And with that thought in mind, I encourage you to celebrate World Kindness Day, even belatedly. In fact, I challenge you to celebrate it tomorrow. Intentionally and with great reverence, do something kind, and maybe commit to making an act of kindness and intentionality each day until it becomes a habit. Your kind action might be a compliment when it is least expected. It might be a letter or a phone call, or sharing a jigsaw puzzle or a book. Combating somebody's loneliness in whatever way you can would be an awesome way to be kind as we continue to socially distance ourselves from one another and voluntarily lock down. If that last one strikes your fancy, I came across a really interesting nonprofit organization focusing on seniors living in nursing care facilities. It was started by a college student. You can find out about it at loveforourElders.org. Kindness may seem like an overly simplistic or Pollyanna sort of way of navigating through the negativity of our age. However, I agree with 11-year-old Savannah Brooks, who wrote, "It's time for a change. What kind of change? Kindness. Kindness may not be able to change the past," she wrote in her award-winning speech, "but it can change the present. And no matter how many mistakes we have made, it can still change our future, and we know it. You can make a difference. You have the power. Think about it." What one thing could you do today, she concludes, that will change the world, or I would add, maybe just somebody's life forever?